Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to the Art of Planning. Well, I'm going to do something today that I haven't done before. I'm filming on the floor. I'm not even going to go into it, but if the sound goes up and down, it's because the camera's up and we're down on the floor. And I actually shot this once before already, and it didn't work out like I wanted to. If you'd heard that other video, I said I was going to post it no matter what. Well, I didn't do that because I just wasn't happy with it. Didn't focus like I wanted it to. I certainly hope that it does this time. So I'm going to show you. You're getting shadows. Can you see that on the pink binder? We may have to deal with shadows. My new house has tons of natural light, which is wonderful in some ways. In other ways, leaves lots of shadows. Okay, I'm going to film my 3 favorite binders/planners of 2018, and that's a lot of information to do in a little amount of time. I'm not going to load you up with too much information, but we're going to run through tons. So hang in there. Here we go. Yep, we're going to get shadows. Okay, so you will notice on the floor there are 3 binders that look a lot alike. Yes, they are. These are all vintage Aurora binders. They are all Franklin planners. This just kind of happened, except it didn't really just kind of happen. Okay, we're going to check some things out. Now, I want to go down a little more so we can... And let's see if we can get it focused better. It should do that all by itself. We all know that, don't we? Okay. They are vintage Auroras. I like the colors of them. That's one reason I got them. But another reason I got them, they have 1.5-inch binders. I love that. It lets me really load a lot of things into a planner. So there is a reason that I chose them and selected them. Here is another reason that I chose this particular one. I love the insides of it. This has more to do with the papers than it probably has to do with the binder itself. These papers are probably more me than anything that I have ever worked with. I'm pretty much Southwest type girl. I love red, this color red, and I love turquoise. I've loved turquoise before turquoise ever became a real thing. My dad's uncle, my uncle, my dad's brother, used to, this has been a lifetime ago. He dealt with Indian tribes a long time ago. Please, I don't want to hear anything about speaking about ethnicities or anything. This was a lifetime ago. He dealt with Indian tribes. He's collected arrowheads. I have a wonderful story about that I won't share. But he actually tumbled his own turquoise. He had a tumbler. I have antique turquoise jewelry from my Uncle Charles. I wish I had more of it. I've loved turquoise forever and ever. I have antique jewelry. I have new turquoise jewelry. I love turquoise things. It's kind of hard in the planner world to find things like that that don't tend to be too cutesy. Some of this was cutesy and I used some of it. I just love these papers. So when I found these, I used these for this particular book, this particular project, and fell in love with it. These have a lot of pieces that I used. I made a lot of page markers. These also are great bookmarks. Bookmarkers. I made a lot of little bookmarkers. My oldest grandson loves to read. He also loves the arrowheads, and he and my dad. So that was my dad's great-grandson, but boy, they had a connection from the beginning. So he loved these too. I made him a lot of bookmarkers. His brother, so that's my middle grandson. He's not quite as much on reading, but I just made a lot of bookmarks and a lot of things for the boys with these papers too. So that made it special. So the turquoise, the Western theme, being able to even mix the shiny glitzy little things, that's a special touch that I could do with these papers. I love these papers. I did a review on this particular binder and working with these papers also, so you can find that in some of the earlier videos. I had so much fun with these, and because of the papers alone, This is one of my favorite binders of 2018. Show me how big your Brave is. I mean, I adore that. When I can really work with something and have fun, when something is aesthetically pleasing to you, isn't that more fun to work with? Don't you just have, it's more fun to wear, it's more fun to look at, it's more fun to flip through, it's more fun to just get connected to. Oh, I love this. I love old-time postcards, and it's just, I mean, I could pull this out and look at it all the time. Sorry, that shifted you guys a little bit, didn't it? Okay, so that is one of the 3 that are favorites of 2018. Okay, here is another of the top 3. I didn't set my timer, so I have no idea where we are time-wise, so I better move on. This is another vintage Aurora. 1.5 rings, 1.5-inch rings. You know what? I don't think that is. That's probably 1.25 inches. This is my house binder. If you follow me at all, you know that in 2018, we moved. After being at one house for about 20 years, we moved to another. We actually downsized. Now, that sounds all well and good to downsize until you actually do it. Oh my goodness. Now, when we downsized, we also, I mean, we didn't intend to, but we kind of ended up remodeling this house totally. And it was such fun, but it's also quite a job. So I used one of my binders as kind of a specialty binder, which I've never done before. This was totally devoted to the project of redoing the house. I wish so much that I hadn't cleaned this binder out about 2 weeks ago, but I went through it. I kept in this binder measurements, window measurements, door measurements. I kept in it, we replaced light fixtures throughout the whole thing. Let me flip back here and show you this. I kept light fixtures in here that we had purchased. We did kind of a stainless look through part of it because it's kind of a farmhouse industrial, but yet very much of a very country type feel. So we would antique bronze someplace, the polished steel in the other, and I had to keep copious notes and pictures because I'm very visual also. So we kept a lot of that in it. All of the measurements were in it, who we were working with, names, phone numbers, websites, and through a lot of that, people would give us other websites. This book went into lumber yards, it went into design stores. People that we met would give us other information. People were fascinated by these books in Lowe's, Home Depots, all those places. Men would constantly comment on this, as would women when we were standing in line. Here are paint chips. I kept paint chips like crazy. And if it wasn't the kind of paint that we were using, there were paint chips that we could match up to the kind of paint that we were using. It was amazing. I cleaned it out though because we still have some projects that we are working on. For instance, between the master bath and the master bedroom, we took that door out, and the guy that did so much of the carpentry is absolutely incredible, and we're now putting a barn door in between the master bath and the master bedroom. So, as I was cleaning, I added a bunch of blank pages that I took out whenever I shot the picture when I did the first video. Because now we need to start 2019 with the new things that we're doing and the new projects that we are doing and the new measurements we need and all of that. Now in this book also, I needed a date book, but I didn't need a day on 2 pages. What I have and what I used is a week on 2 pages because I got to have a date book, but it doesn't need to be as detailed. And it was the first time ever that I used a week on 2 pages. And it's the perfect thing for this book. Now what you're seeing here are last year's pages, but I really love the week on 2 pages for this project. So this is one of my top 3 planners of 2018. And you can't even begin to know how much I used it and worked it and how full it was. because I did just clean it out a couple weeks ago. But as a specialty binder, oh my goodness, it was absolutely incredible. So if you haven't ever done that with a particular project, you might think about doing that. It kept me organized. It kept me from going insane. I could always pull that out and know what I needed was where I needed it at any given time. So that was another one. And here's the final one. And you've seen that just recently. And this is my blush. It's my Christmas binder right now. But let me tell you, and there's some things I really want to share with you on this one. Okay. This is my back to business binder right now. Franklin was pretty amazing when they picked this color out. They kind of knew what they were doing. Now, I'm sure it's not a man's color. I'm absolutely sure. But it is the most amazing neutral cover ever. I am not a pink girl. I probably wouldn't do a pink binder, but this blush is so neutral and I love it. But the reason that this is the last of my top 3 binders for this year is that it's kind of a back to business binder for me. I really kind of wandered around. I mean, with all of this move and everything, we are totally in a different state of being and of living and of doing right now. And I really have wondered, and I don't mean wonder as if I wonder if, I mean wondered. I kind of been without a plan. I kind of been without, and you know, I've talked about that before. I've experienced that before, but this has been something totally different. So when I got back, and you're seeing December here, but I've been working out of this binder since about October. So I'm in kind of a new phase of life. I'm in a new home. I have a new purpose. Taken me a while to figure that out. Yeah, I am in a new phase of doing with a new purpose. And sometimes that has to smack you in the face before you go, oh, okay, I understand now. I've got to have a new track to run on. This is it. Like, how do you know where you need to go if you don't know where you need to go? And I'm serious with that question. I have a new purpose and a new plan, and I gotta get somewhere with it, and I gotta know where I'm going. So I've got to have a plan. I have to have a plan. So this is my plan. Now, even in the first video, as I was kind of flipping through it, and the first being the one you'll never see, I hope this is much more in focus. I don't really want you to kind of focus in on any of the pages because a lot of these are business things that are pretty personal and they're business. But you'll see that I've gotten much more, I mean, these pages are pretty loaded with a purpose and a focus and things that need to be accomplished and ways to do them. And this little guy, this little notebook has moved from one page to the next page to the next page to the next day. It's moved a lot and it's getting used up. And I know that I'm accomplishing something and I know what needs to be done and what I can mark off and what I've achieved. And it's just daily, I know that I can be on purpose, I can be powerful, I can approach each day with a plan, and that there is a new plan and a new purpose, and that makes me feel good again. And you know what? I almost feel like as we go into a new year with things, a lot of people may feel like that. We're opening a new chapter, we're opening a new year, and what's going to happen? Well, the only thing that's going to happen is what you plan to make happen. And I think that's really an important thing. And maybe I was supposed to make this video all over again to even emphasize that. The only thing that's going to happen this week, next week, and in the new year is the things that you plan to make happen. So that's all I wanted to share with you. These top 3 binders have been really important to me in the past year and will be important as we go forward because I'm a plan girl. I got to have a plan or it's kind of all over with. So I hope that has been helpful to you. I am so happy to get back and do some videos. I already know the next one that I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to use the two actual guts of the binders or the planners inside. Some of you have seen that. I'll just build on that. I'm going to show you the week on 2 pages also. And that's what I'm going to do next time. If you're a new person to this YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe. We'd love to have you kind of on our YouTube family. If you're one of them that has bared with me as I've been in and out this year, I thank you so much. You guys know I appreciate you. And thanks for tuning in this time. And I'll plan on seeing you next time. Okay? Thanks, guys. Bye.